We're with Blake Proefrock, the Scoopers head track and field coach. You guys had quite a season. Let's start with Aiden Hederman.
Yeah, he's a tremendous athlete. He's proven that throughout the year in multiple sports. But man, he had a tremendous end of the season. Setting the all-time state record in the 110s. Three-time state champion in the 110 hurdles. When leaning at the wire in the 300 hurdles to be the state champion there, and then he was third in pole vault at the state meet. So obviously tremendous career, but tremendous meet. And in the pole vault, there's years where what he did, which was also set our school record, which he also set the school record in the 300 hurdles. But there are years in the pole vault where what he vaulted would maybe get it done, but he has some two all-time individuals ahead of him in the pole vault this year, at the state meet. So he ended up third with a tremendous effort there. So he had just a tremendous career, and we're gonna miss him. It's obviously one of the best to ever come through Sturgis, for sure.
He's a dedicated athlete, and he gives credit to the coaching staff.
Well, yeah, there's in some of those things, there's some X's and O's and a lot of work ethic and a lot of plans that go into it. But he's the Jimmy and the Joe. He is capable of an awful lot. He's a tremendous athlete. We can try to just put him in position to do the best things, and that's kind of what happened. We're not going to take a ton of credit for that. Obviously, his dad and Coach Kamak and pole vault, and a lot of people put a lot of time into all the whole coaching staff throughout the years coming up. So, that's a testament to him, his work ethic, the off season that he put in this year. I'm not going to take a lot of credit for him being phenomenal, which he was. So we're gonna miss him a lot. Just gonna miss watching him, miss seeing him on the track, watching him compete, and wishing him the best of luck. We're glad we had him, and he's obviously gonna go be a Coyote, South Dakota. So hopefully he just continues on from there and continues to get better.
You had some other Scoopers do real well at the state meet as well.
Yeah, we had a lot of them. On the boys' side, as a team, we ended up sixth, which was an awesome accomplishment, for us, considering, all five schools above us were, some of the largest, like kind of the AAA football schools, and so kind of numbers prevail there. But yeah, we had a lot of great things. Along with that, in the 300 hurdles, Jaden Ludwig, he ended up finishing fourth, there. So that was tremendous. Ty Petracco, I believe, was like seventh in the mile. Did a tremendous job there. It was an unfortunate circumstance for him in the 800, because I think he was going to be a medalist there as well. And there was kind of a big pile up kind of on that going into the last turn, and a handful of kids tripped or whatnot. So that was kind of unfortunate, but he's going to do well there. We had, long jump placer, Carson Walter. He ended up placing in the long jump, did a tremendous job. We weren't totally expecting that. We knew if he was going to, get there and, have a big jump, he'd be able to, but he got on the podium. Boys 4x8 team, we said, Ty Ferguson, Ty Petracco, Quinn Brook and Taylor Kalunga, they were state champions in the 4x8. And that was an awesome thing for us to kind of get started off. That was kind of one of the first things that happened at the state meet, and so it was a good start for us. It was fun to see, fun to watch. So that was great. Javelin, yeah, Levi Brandt, tremendous. Third place in the javelin, and it was kind of one of those things going into the last jump. He was sitting, in the last throw, he was sitting third. He threw, like a tremendous effort and moved back into second. And then the individual right after him threw again and went back into second. So he went back to third. is San Marcos, so a kid we saw all year long, and they kind of battled back and forth. He's from Spearfish, and so it was fun. It was fun to watch them both compete. It's all the local kids that we see around here. It's fun to see them compete and see how well they do, and that same thing for obviously the Spearfish girls. It was fun to watch them compete as a team and do as well as they did. But yeah, a lot of great efforts. All the way around. We had obviously some other relays and some things like that on the boys' side. Some unfortunate things. That happened there. The boys 4x1 was really, really close to maybe setting an all-time mark. And I think they ended up kind of DQ'd. As to kind of some handoffs and some things like that, right, with the exchange zone. But I mean, they got it. It was just outside, and so we got a time, and they put a time on the board, and then after the fact, it was flagged and DQ'd, and so it was a heck of an effort. So the girls' side, there were a lot of good efforts there. We had some relays, that did tremendously well. The 4x8 and the medley, were 4th and 5th respectively. Those girls have done a great job all year. A lot of those girls, ran in the mile and stuff, and they weren't able to place, but they had personal bests throughout the year. Those are individuals, like Iris Zylstra, Novalee Dinkins, Paige Wilner, Lucy Hamer, and they kind of made up those teams. They ran the mile. Iris Zylstra ran the 800, ended up one spot out. I think she was 9th in the 800. So we had a lot of really close efforts there. Avery Marler, she snuck on in the long jump. I think she placed 8th. If I remember right, she was 8th in the long jump. Great effort, and I'll tip my hat to that kid because she wasn't feeling the best. She didn't, she was kind of under the weather a little bit over the weekend, and she competed. She competed extremely well. She's a kid that's multi-time state medalist. She was part of that medley team, and she kind of battled through the weekend, and so I tip my hat to her and how well she competed. I do want to say. Girls like Hannah Killinger and Novalee Dinkins, those individuals, they've been part of the program. Seniors been part of the program, for 4 years or more in Novalee's case, and I just tip my hat to them. They had tremendous careers. Been part of medaling at the state track meet, multiple years, and so we're really going to miss them for sure.
Blake, talk about how you're going to reload. We're losing 14 seniors, of which a lot of them were your place winners at state. Talk a little bit about replacements.
Yeah,
in the future.
Yeah. Going into next year, I was definitely telling a lot of the kids, take a look at this, take a look at who's around you and what we have coming back, because for instance, like Jaden Ludwig, I think he's the number one hurdler coming back. In almost both events, one for sure, or if you just go by place, I think he was 9th, he was the 9th person in the 110s, and then I think he's the number one non-senior coming back, I think, in the 300 hurdles. But we see that we were really young in our sprint relays, in our sprinters. We had some freshmen and sophomores and things like that, and it was juniors, of course, but we were underclassmen in a lot of those things, and the natural maturation process, I think is going to bode well for us. And even though we lose Aiden, and that was big points, we got pretty good depth coming back in the distance, and we had unfortunate circumstance in one race, and we didn't say at the state meet we didn't score there. And we were, I think, 9th and 10th in the 2 mile, and that was, Ty and Quinn, and so we were right out there. And in the mile, we were right there. We did score, but we're like 7th, and I can't remember necessarily where Quinn placed, but he was just right outside. The same type of situation, and so all those guys improve. Sully Jose was there in triple jump, and his first 2 jumps he unfortunately scratched, but without a doubt, the first jump I think would have got him into the finals, and probably his second jump as well, and he was just over. But something like that. I think we're gonna have, I don't know if they're gonna place, but we're gonna have, I think, 3 triple jumpers at the state meet next year. I think we're gonna have a couple long jumpers at the state meet. Manny Hadamio, he's gonna come back, and pole vault. Chase Temple was out, injury all year, and we were thinking that he was probably going to be, a state medalist this year or in contention to be. So I think, Dalen Deshock, he was javelin as well, and he was already there, but I think we'll have 3 javelin throwers. I think we got a lot of depth. I think, losing like somebody like Aiden, like on the boy side, that's a big hit. But I think we're going to come back, as a team, a little more well-rounded, a little bit deeper. I think the boys were pretty excited about it when they started to see kind of as a whole and as a unit what they were going to look like going into next year. So a lot of optimism there. And then the girls, we had a small team this year, and I think the numbers are going to increase next year. We obviously have that mid distance, some of the distance runners that are gonna come through, and we're just gonna have to find and where we have Danica Deshock, like through the year, all the way to the end of the year, the last chance meet, she ended up, and she had qualified earlier in the year, but she had high jump 5.2, and so going into next year, she's gonna be a sophomore, and she just continues to get better, and so we have pieces around. We just need to get a few more of them, and so that's kind of the goal here going into the off season and kind of the recruitment process and get a few more kids out. Because I think we probably had twice as many boys as we did girls out, and so numbers sure help. So
talk a little bit about Ty Petrocco for just a second. He placed 7th in the mile, which is second best in the school history at the 4:23. How close is that to being the school record?
I think he's got another, I think it's 2 seconds. I think 2.5 seconds, I think is what it is. And it's something that he'll be able to do. And I'm not sure that he wouldn't have got it done, probably. If the conditions were a little better. The conditions weren't great. It was pretty breezy, that's for sure. He still competed really well, still had a great time, but I think he's going to be right there. And so, he's got the 2 mile. He's, sitting second in the mile. I sure don't doubt that, he's going to maybe get on our list in the 800 as well. He's tremendous. And obviously, I get to coach him in obviously cross country as well. And already, it's the communication that we're having going into the off season about what he's going to try to get accomplished and how many the mileage he's going to put in. I can't wait to see it. That whole group, because they're really competitive, with one another. And I think that really showed. I was talking to those kids, and just because we're from out here in the Black Hills, and you do a lot of interviews with a lot of the other schools, but I think it's a testament to the competition that they see on a weekly basis and a yearly basis in cross country with the kids and all the local conference schools, and doing so well that I don't think. And then of course the competition within the team, because like Quinn and Ty and and Taylor, they're all so competitive. But just kind of regionally here, I don't think anybody would be as good without everybody else, because right now the distance, and especially out here, the depth of the distance that I haven't seen it anything like it. Like some of the times, the fact that we have like a 10:08 mile or 2 miler that couldn't get into state, it's pretty unbelievable, really, and unfortunately we only got him, that was Taylor Kalunga. We only got him to run that, I think, a couple times, but still, like that's pretty solid competition. and that's a pretty solid number to not get in, and it has in the past for sure. So, yeah, like it's looking forward to next year for sure.
All right, Coach, congratulations on a great Scooper track and field season, and we appreciate the visit.
Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate you guys. Appreciate the time. Appreciate the coverage, and just want to say congratulations to everyone else and all the other local teams around, because they did a tremendous job and it was fun to watch. So thank you guys.